The police have swung into action to the conspiracy behind singer Sidhu Moosewala's murder. There are two gangsters that have been brought by the Punjab police from Batinda and from Firozpur jails. The Delhi police is now grilling Lawrence Bishnoi, the gangster, in the national capital. There are more updates that are pouring in. We'll take them one by one. I have with me CP Singh. He's the former IG from Punjab. And Sipal Singh ji, you know, this crisis is only deepening. There is more information that keeps pouring in. It looks like it's just the tip of the iceberg that we have touched right now. Sipal Singh, if you can hear me?
Yeah, I can listen. Yes, please repeat your question.
Sipal Singh ji, in fact, hold on to that thought, because there is the NewsX exclusive information on this entire scandal that is now surfacing of the gang culture in Punjab. The tip of the iceberg, of course, being the Moosewala murder mystery that happened Sunday, the last 3 days ago. Our first exclusive is, in fact, the full details of the grilling of Lawrence Bishnoi, the gangster that is being pinned down for the murder of Moosewala. Lawrence Bishnoi has been taken to the special cell office of Northern Range. Lawrence Bishnoi, in fact, has been questioned for more than 15 hours now. He is not cooperating with the probe, is what the police are saying. Lawrence Bishnoi has not answered questions directly, and he has also admitted to Moosewala being killed to avenge Vicky's death. And he continues to deny the role of the accomplices. There was a Facebook post that had been made by his aide, Goldie Brar, from Canada, saying that it was under the orders of Lawrence Bishnoi to avenge the murder of Vicky that Moosewala was killed. What we are also understanding is there were new shooters that were brought into the picture. They were hired, they were used by Lawrence, but he denies the knowledge, and he has dug every single question. He's also dug the question on his alleged friendship with Goldie Brar. Lawrence was asked about his contact with the local gangsters in Punjab, to which Lawrence has claimed that he never had any mobile phone on him in the jail premises. He's even claimed that he was under surveillance for the last 24 hours. He goes on to say that he was kept under constant surveillance by the jail authorities. He's refused to give answers on the celebrities on his hit list, on his alleged hit list. Joining me on the broadcast is Jatin. And Jatin, give me more details of this massive details, exclusive information that we are getting. Apparently, there were new shooters that were used to kill Moosewala. He is denying every single connect, every single contact with the Canadian gangster, that's Goldie Brar, and so many of these information that is pouring in on our screens right now.
जी देखिए, आईटीवी नेटवर्क के पास ये तमाम इंफॉर्मेशन है जो एक्सक्लूसिव हैं, जिसमें हमने ये पूरी पड़ताल की है, पूरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन की है, और जो सोर्सेज हैं उनसे हमें तमाम ये जानकारियां मिली हैं, तमाम क्वेश्चंस मिले हैं जो स्पेशल सेल ने पूछे हैं लॉरेंस बिश्नोई से। लॉरेंस बिश्नोई के बारे में पहले बता दें, लॉरेंस बिश्नोई डरा हुआ है। किस बात से डरा हुआ है? उसको डर ये है कि अगर पंजाब पुलिस उसे अपने साथ लेकर पंजाब जाती है, अगर पंजाब पुलिस को उसकी कस्टडी मिल जाती है तो उसका एनकाउंटर हो सकता है। लेकिन उसको दूसरा डर ये है कि कहीं कोई गैंग जो है, उसका राइवल गैंग उसकी हत्या ना कर दे। ये दो बड़ी बातें हैं जिससे लॉरेंस बिश्नोई डरा हुआ है। लेकिन वो कानूनी दावपेच भी खेल रहा है। कानूनी दावपेच कैसे खेल रहा है? स्पेशल सेल ने उससे 15 घंटे से ज्यादा पूछताछ की है नॉर्दर्न रेंज के दफ्तर में, जहां पर स्पेशल सेल का दफ्तर है रोहिणी में। उसने ज्यादातर सवालों के जवाब ना में दिए हैं, डिनाई किए हैं। उससे पूछा गया कि जो गोल्डी ब्रार है उससे उसका ताल्लुकात कैसा है। इसके अलावा उससे पूछा गया कि वो किन किन लोकल गैंगस्टर्स को जानता है पंजाब में। लेकिन सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट सवाल ये था कि अगर उसके किसी गुर्गे ने तिहाड़ जेल में किसी मोबाइल फोन का इस्तेमाल किया है और उस मोबाइल फोन से गोल्डी बरार से बातचीत हुई है, जिसमें जो सिद्धू मूसेवाला है उनकी हत्या का ताना बाना रचा गया था, तो वो मोबाइल फोन जेल में कैसे पहुंचा? ऐसे कौन कौन से गुर्गे हैं जो मोबाइल फोन पहुंचाने का काम तिहाड़ जेल में कर रहे हैं, उसमें कौन कौन लोग इन्वॉल्व हैं? इसके अलावा उससे सवाल पूछा गया कि उसकी हिट लिस्ट में कौन कौन से सेलिब्रिटी हैं और कौन कौन से पंजाब के सिंगर।
जतिन हमारे साथ बने रहिए, आप इंपॉर्टेंट खबर हमारे दर्शकों को पहुंचा रहे हैं. There is also more exclusive information that we'll just put out on your screens right now. There is in fact a fresh angle that is emerging from the interrogation of Lawrence Bishnoi. As per police sources, we have been told that the business of the music industry is also part of the reason behind the murder of Moosewala. This is what the cops at this point of time are saying as per the sources close to us. There's information on the music industry link that has now emerged. Sources also learned that the gangster ended up spending money to make new artists gangsters, and the gangsters get a share in the earnings of the new artists that are put on the platform. There is dominance in the music industry that is said to be the suspected reason behind these gang wars and this indiscriminate killings. So Jatin, यहाँ पे ये जो म्यूजिक इंडस्ट्री और जो गन कल्चर है पंजाब का, ये हाईलाइट हो रहा है. यहाँ पे मूसेवाला, अगर मूसेवाला की बात करें तो उनका मर्डर ऐसी सुर्खियों में बातें आ रही थी कि उनको अपोज किया जा रहा था. कनाडा में भी जब वो अपना म्यूजिक बनाते थे, बोलते थे कि काफ़ी वायलेंट है, काफ़ी गन कल्चर को एनकरेज करता है, और इसीलिए उनकी काफ़ी बार मुठभेड़ हो जाती थी कनेडियन अथॉरिटीज़, कनेडियन पुलिस द्वारा भी. यहाँ पंजाब में देखा जाए तो यही सिचुएशन था. और जो अगर हम दशकों में, पिछले सालों में भी जो कितने सारे मर्डर्स यहाँ पे हुए हैं, शूट आउट्स हुए हैं, गैंग वॉर्स दिखे हैं पंजाब के अंदर, गन कल्चर म्यूजिक इंडस्ट्री का बहुत अहम हाथ रहा है.
देखिए, बिल्कुल मैं आपको अपनी जो बता रहा था, पूरी जो हमें सोशल स्पेशल सेल से जो जानकारी मिली है, उसमें बिल्कुल ये बात भी निकलकर सामने आई है कि इसमें म्यूजिक इंडस्ट्री और जो म्यूजिशियंस हैं उनकी आपसी राइवलरी और उसमें गैंग्स की इन्वॉल्वमेंट एक मुख्य कारण जो मूसेवाला है उसकी हत्या में नजर आ रहा है. आपको याद होगा साल 2021 में विक्की मुद्दीखेड़ा नाम के सिंगर की हत्या हो गई थी पंजाब में, और ये मामला क्योंकि उससे भी जुड़ा हुआ है. जो लॉरेंस बिश्नोई है उसको लगता था कि जो मूसेवाला है उनका रोल जो है विक्की मुद्दीखेड़ा नाम के सिंगर की हत्या में है, क्योंकि जो मूसेवाला है उनके मैनेजर के स्टूडियो में ये पूरी साजिश रची गई थी. पूर्व में ये बताया गया है सिंगर की हत्या की, और फिर जो मैनेजर हैं शगल प्रीत सिंह, वो ऑस्ट्रेलिया फरार हो गया था और अभी तक शगल प्रीत सिंह को नहीं पकड़ा जा सका है. इस बीच ये लगता था लॉरेंस बिश्नोई को कि जो हत्या है वो मूसेवाला ने करवाई है. तो यहाँ एक राइवलरी निकलकर सामने आती है. लेकिन साथ साथ ये बता दें कि जो ये गैंग्स हैं, ये पंजाब के लोकल सिंगर्स जो हैं, पंजाब के फेमस जो सिंगर्स हैं, उनसे रंगदारी, एक्सटॉर्शन मनी मांगते हैं. प्रोटेक्शन मनी का नाम इसे दिया जाता है, और जो सिंगर नहीं देता है प्रोटेक्शन मनी उसको निशाना बनाया जाता है, उससे उसको मार दिया जाता है. और क्योंकि मूसेवाला से भी प्रोटेक्शन मनी की मांग की गई थी और इसलिए उन्होंने मना कर दिया था प्रोटेक्शन मनी देने से, जिसके बाद उन्हें सुरक्षा मुहैया कराई गई थी. लेकिन इस मामले में सबसे बड़ा सवाल जो मैं आपको बताने जा रहा हूं, आईटीवी नेटवर्क के पास ये जानकारी है कि जो बिश्नोई है, लॉरेंस बिश्नोई, उससे ये सवाल जरूर पूछा गया है कि गैंगस्टर्स को कैसे इस बात की जानकारी मिल गई थी कि जो मूसेवाला है वो बिना सिक्योरिटी के अपनी थार गाड़ी में जा रहे हैं, जबकि उनके पास फॉर्च्यूनर गाड़ी थी, और वो जब घर से निकले हैं उसके थोड़ी ही दूरी पर उनकी हत्या कर दी गई है. यानी ये इंफॉर्मेशन लीक हुई. अगर ये इंफॉर्मेशन लीक हुई और गैंगस्टर तक पहुंच गई तो कैसे पहुंच गई? इस इंफॉर्मेशन के बीच में बहुत कम जो गैप था वो था. तो ऐसे में लॉरेंस बिश्नोई ने कोई जवाब नहीं दिया है, वो जवाब देने से बच रहा है, बहुत सारे सवालों से वो बच रहा है, आंसर नहीं कर रहा है, और साथ साथ पोस्ट से डिनाई कर रहा है कि वो पोस्ट उसने या उसके गुर्गों ने नहीं किया है जिसमें जिम्मेदारी ली गई है कि मूसेवाला की हत्या लॉरेंस बिश्नोई या उससे जुड़े गुर्गों ने करवाई है. अब गोल्डी बरार को लेकर आगे की इंफॉर्मेशन जो है वो पुलिस जुटा रही है, पंजाब पुलिस जुटा रही है, लेकिन स्पेशल सेल अपना काम दिल्ली में कर रही है. जी,
बहुत बड़ी खबर आपने दी है जतिन. थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर शेयरिंग दोज डिटेल्स विद अस. आई एम नाउ गोइंग टू involve my panelists on the discussion to further unearth these exclusive reports that we are getting on the broadcast that are being shared on your screens right now. Sipal Singh ji, he's the former IG of Punjab. He will know exactly what Jatin was talking about, the nexus between the cops in Punjab and the gang lords as well as the political class now remember, this cannot, these groups and bodies cannot be looked in isolation. There are these singers that have promoted gun culture, and then there are these gangs that are closely affiliated to political parties. There is the Congress, there is the Shiromani Akali Dal, and then we finally have these mass killings that are held in a similar fashion. Remember, Vicky Mudde Khera was killed in the same fashion. He was a Shiromani Akali Dal youth leader. He was killed in October 2021. There were 9 gunshots that were found on his body, and this incident happened in Mohali. In a similar incident, there is Moosewala that has been killed 24 gunshots in the entirety of his body. And the most important point that Jatin just now spoke, that how is it that the information was leaked to these gangs, to the Lawrence Bishnoi gang, that the security of Moosewala had been removed by the Punjab government? How did this very crucial information trickle down to the gangster? And within 2 days' time of the removal of the security, this modus operandi was then orchestrated to kill Moosewala. So, Sipal Singh ji, if you could shed more light into this political, police and the gangster singers nexus that has gone on for far too long in Punjab.
Indeed, this nexus has been going on, as I would like to state, between some political patronage, the drug lords who were lodged in the jails, as well as the gangster. A number of incidents have occurred in the last 2 years where police claim, Punjab police claim, that they have eliminated the gangsters. I'm surprised to learn that despite having eliminated so many gangsters, as it is claimed by the police, yet the gang continue to exist and without bothering for the law and order, without bothering the life of the citizens. What happens is, there are 2 ways. One is that we do not have the proper intelligence about the operation of gangsters. The second is, which is very important, that some of the gangsters have got either a political patronage, or they have got clout of money, or they are so forceful as far as the vote bank is concerned that they are not touched, or their ramifications are there and their allies, their other persons are not there. I'll tell you very interesting. For the last about 2 years, I've been hearing every time, whenever something came, we have mentioned about Goldie, every time. What? An incident took place where, about 2 years back, 3 motorcycle riders eliminated one Gurlal Singh at Chandigarh. It was alleged that in this case, the Johnson's opposite gang is involved, and Johnson's gang, Lawrence Johnson's there, in connivance with Goldie Barar, have challenged that we are going to take a revenge on that. Since then, for the last 2 years, a lot of other incidents took place from one to another. Another incident took about a year back, where these 3 motorcycles riders who had eliminated Gurlal, they were involved with the police in an encounter at Moga. 2 of the gangsters were killed. One gangster, Byan Singh, he gave a statement that yes, we were asked by the opposite gang of Lawrence Johnson and Barar to eliminate Gurlal, and we have done it. Now immediately the connection came up. Yes, this Gurlal was the Youth Federation's leader of that university. And Lawrence also had studied in that university. He had a clout in that university. And Gurlal was one of his aides in that particular Punjab university. Therefore, elimination of gangsters had aroused the anger of Lawrence Johnson and his other aide like Goldie. Everyone knew that now the Goldie will come into action, yet we could not, because we had a lot of a lot of indications that this gang war is going on, yet we could not.
Okay.
Another thing.
Okay.
Another thing, one line, let me finish. Lawrence Johnson was there, arrested, there in the Tihar jail. And let me know from anyone what efforts were made to get him at that time. Did we ask for the protection warrant from the court? Did we try to interrogate him there? No, again, at this point of time when you want to get Lawrence John, Lawrence will say certainly that I am likely to be eliminated if I am given to the Punjab police. Therefore, he has his apprehension, he has gone to the court of law and he is trying to say, I do not want to leave Tihar jail. Why not the interrogation are done in Tihar jail by the police? There is no question of elimination. The interrogation there was given to the Delhi police. My submission is, for some reason or the other, maybe they are not being linked together, or there are reason not to be linked for certain other reasons. Therefore, since the gang war has started, the linkages are available here, there. Have we gone to all the linkages? Have we? No, whenever this thing happens, we start getting Goldie Bra has done this thing, that thing. We have got the linkages. Why don't we go to the logical end of A, B, C, D? The same gang war was there in Maharashtra when Kareem Lala and Haji Mastan were there in the 80s. Ultimately, the police had to do something to get rid of them. That is, in the 90s again, Dawood gang came and D Company was formed. I am asking today, what the political parties jointly have done for cleaning these gangs, cleaning these drug lords from Punjab, while Punjab is a very sensitive state. And the angle will come ultimately because they are all located near about Canada. The bank, you see, and we very well know that some of the Khalistani elements are also located in Canada. So therefore, in this sensitive state, particularly in view of the fact that lot of happenings are taking place for the last 2 years, the bell ring and the political masters should come together and think of the sensitive state.
Okay.
That is my suggestion.
How can that be done, Ellen Rao, when there is a political nexus that also hovers around all this drug culture, gun culture, gangster culture that we are witnessing on the ground? And the most important thing, there are terrorist activities and the terrorist links that are also being brought out. Now there are the Khalistanis and the ISI and Pakistan that are trying to gain leverage out of this entire thing, and keeping in mind that Punjab is a sensitive area, it is a border state, it actually borders Pakistan, the situation becomes even more tense and more precarious. How must all this be dealt with?
Only one answer to all your questions is that the political will. When there is a political will to stop all these things, it can be done. It's not an impossible thing. Otherwise, if the political will is not there to stop this gang war or gangsters, what is being done here in Punjab, then definitely they will be trying to revive the militancy which was there in earlier 80s. So now the revival is on the verge of it. Yesterday I also told about it, because these things, the international people who are sitting outside India, they are very much trying to revive this. And just like the Justice for Sikhs, that is an organization also, and other organizations, they are also reviving their cadres in Punjab as well as in outside India. So the government should think it very seriously about it. This is not the case of only Moosewala's murder case. There are so many other cases have happened in past with the gangsters, and they definitely, and this is also a fact that the criminals who are originated from the land of Punjab, they were finally become the terrorists of this land. So in my opinion, that there is a high time that now the government should think about to control all these activities here. Otherwise, the Punjab will out of our hand, and then again that the same situation may arise that it was in 1988, 1980s,
Okay.
and till 90 it was controlled by the corporation of public. Now the public is also required to be to cooperate to the police department as well as to the government, as it was done in 80s. to control the this terrorism. Now this gang culture has been augmented, and this gang culture is being flourishing only because of these drug mafias, and the gun culture is also there. It's very strange that the automatic weapon, including AK-47 assault rifles, were used in this case. How it is possible that police was not having any knowledge, and that total failure, as Mr. C.P. Singh is saying, that it definitely needs a revamp of the intelligence agencies among the police and other intelligence agencies.
Okay. So I'll come to you. You've made your point, Ellen Rao. I'll come to Ved Bhushan. He's the former ACP, Delhi Police. Do you think all this could happen and continue to prevail in Punjab if these gangsters and these singers and these artists were not being provided with political protection?
मेगा, मैं राव साहब की और पाल साहब की बात को आगे बढ़ाऊंगा। अब ये जो केस है या पूरा पंजाब और दिल्ली पुलिस की जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन है, ये इसके नेशनल और इंटरनेशनल लिंक्स हो गए हैं। नेशनल इसलिए क्योंकि गैंग वार इसके अंदर इन्वॉल्व हो गई है। दूसरा, कनाडा से इसके लिंक जो खालिस्तान से संबंधित हैं, उससे इसके लिंक एस्टेब्लिश हो गए हैं। तो वक्त की जरूरत ये है कि अब इसकी इन्वेस्टिगेशन या तो एनआईए करे या इस केस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन, क्योंकि उनके रेमिफिकेशन नेशनल और इंटरनेशनल रेमिफिकेशंस होते हैं। माय अदर पॉइंट इज दैट, एक पुरानी कहावत है ना, जहां गुड़ होता है वहीं मक्खी आती है। बॉम्बे की जो फिल्म इंडस्ट्री थी वहां पैसा था। आज पंजाब के अंदर जो यूथ्स हैं, सिंगर्स हैं, उनका एक गाना हिट हो जाता है, करोड़ों रुपए विदेशों से, इंडिया से, तमाम तरह की उनको फैसिलिटीज अर्न कर लेते हैं। तो ये जो गैंग वार है, ये बिश्नोई और ये बहुत बड़ी चीजें हैं। इट्स वेरी कहते हैं ना, हार्ड पोटैटो टू बॉयल। इनको खोलना इतना आसान नहीं है जितना पुलिस के लिए अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा एक चैलेंज है। तो ये जो, और सबसे बड़ा अहम पॉइंट है कि जो पॉलिटिकल, जो इवन पहले कभी नहीं था, अब दिल्ली पुलिस और पंजाब पुलिस के बीच में जो डिफरेंसेस आए रिसेंटली, आपने देखा होगा। मुझे कहने की जरूरत नहीं है, मैं किसी पार्टी का प्रवक्ता नहीं हूं, पर जिस तरह से बॉम्बे दिल्ली पुलिस और पंजाब पुलिस के बीच में जो डिफरेंसेस आए, जो ट्रस्ट लॉस हुआ है, उसका नुकसान इस केस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन को होगा। क्योंकि अब जो स्पेशल सेल के इंट्रोगेशन जो वहां पर की जा रही है, उसको हो सकता है कि कुछ डाउट्स ऐसे हों कि वहां पर ना बताए जाएं। पंजाब गवर्नमेंट की मजबूरी है कि वहां पर सारा सिस्टम चेंज हो गया, उनके सिस्टम काम करने का जो अब आ गया है दूसरी पार्टीज के हाथ में आ गया। जिस तरह से उन्होंने पब्लिक डोमेन में एक लिस्ट लाई, जिस तरह से वो वीआईपी कल्चर या बिल्कुल नए तरह से सिस्टम को चलाना चाह रहे हैं, तो दिल्ली पुलिस के लिए अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज होगा कि वो इंफॉर्मेशन उनको शेयर की जाए और किस एक्सटेंट तक शेयर की जाए। क्योंकि जो ट्रस्ट लॉस हुआ है पंजाब पुलिस के प्रति और दिल्ली पुलिस के प्रति, ये एक बहुत सीरियस स्टैंड ले चुकी है। इसलिए अब वक्त की जरूरत है कि तमाम केस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन और फेयर केस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन, यदि इसके नोट्स को बांधना है तो इसकी इन्वेस्टिगेशन या तो सीबीआई करे या एनआईए, जो सबसे बड़ी इन्वेस्टिगेटिव एजेंसीज हैं, वो तमाम चीजों को, चाहे वो कनाडा से लिंक होती हो, दिल्ली से लिंक होती हो, पंजाब से लिंक होती हो, देहरादून से लिंक होती हो, महाराष्ट्र से लिंक होती है, तमाम चीजों को वो इन्वेस्टिगेट करके और सच्चाई का पता लगाए कि फैक्ट्स क्या आते हैं, व्हाट इज।
ऑलराइट, सो नाउ आई हैव आरवीएस मनी आल्सो, एंड आई विल सीक अ कमेंट फ्रॉम यू, आरवीएस मनी. This is about the security within Punjab, national security, and we are talking about external links coming in from the Khalistani nexus, the ISI nexus, and we talk about political collusion at one time or the other, whether it was Captain Amarinder Singh, whether at this point in time Aam Aadmi Party, which is finding it extremely difficult to contain this entire nexus that we are witnessing. How do we tackle this? And again, I'll continue to harp upon the point. Why was the security of Moosewala removed? Who gave the information? Where did the leak come from? And why was Moosewala targeted just 2 days after his security was withdrawn?
Security was not only withdrawn, it was also, I think, announced by the Honorable Chief Minister as a grand gesture that I am reducing the security. These are all very facts. The most stupid thing to do, whatever may be the reason. That is one part of the story. But what Mr. Ved Bhushan says is, now it has become it's not there a local gangsterism. I don't think Punjab has a Mokoka type of law, but even with that also, Maharashtra has not been able to overcome many of the gang wars still happening there. the political entities try to harness the popularity of the singer, and the root cause lies at that. There should be, and they give the political patronage, they give and under the cover of political patronage, all sorts of undesirable things, including possible drug nexus, possible arms trafficking, arms licensing, everything goes on. The arms licensing should be left to the police. There should be no political intervention, recommendation letters, culture and all in any of the arms licenses being issued. These are all. But this particular case, these are at the broader point. But this particular case is a fit case for NIA to take over because of the international links. We do not know what is the type of MLAT we have with the Canada. With Australia, I'm sure we have a MLAT with them.
Yes.
So
Yes.
with Australia, we have a MLAT. But with Canada, I do not know. Let us file the cases, proceed through the MLAT process, get those people back. Unless and until you get them, Goldie Brar can escape, because with Canada, I don't think we have a MLAT. MLAT system, there you have to have joint working groups, reinforce them, re-strengthen them. Terms of reference may be enlarged. Gang wars or a menace, which is actually happening. And not only that, UN ODC also of the drugs and crimes also. We are a member, we are a signatory to their conventions. On that, if the drug angle is found on that itself, premise
Okay.
itself also, we can get a lot of them.
Okay.
There are so many other avenues, but some single agency like NIA, a national level
Needs
agency,
to take the lead,
over
needs to
and-
take charge and have an
needs to take
overarching approach over the state police, over the SIT, over the other agencies that are at this point of time taking control of the situation in their own developments that are happening. But Major General P.K. Sehgal, I'll seek a response from you. You've heard it from the rest of the panelists. And if it was just the gang wars, we would have still spoken about it, and this situation could have been tackled. It's a domestic issue, it's a state issue. But when the situation becomes national, it's a border state, we talk about terrorism, we talk about militancy, it becomes quite alarming and worrying a situation because it is the national sovereignty, it's the national security that is under jeopardy. What should be the overarching response of the Ministry of Home Affairs and also the Ministry of External Affairs, and in which RVS Mani has said about how do we get these criminals, these gangsters back into the Indian soil after the massive revelations that have been made on social media and otherwise?
I have very carefully heard all the panelists before me. Most of them belong to the police, and I totally agree with them that this case has national and international implications with huge connotations in India's security. Punjab is an extremely sensitive state, and the ISI and the Pakistani army and the jihadis there want to exploit everything to their advantage, and they've already moved in a very major way. They want to exploit it in totality for their benefit against India. It is absolutely essential that the government of India, firstly, the NIA takes over the investigation, because there are too many agencies involved, there are too many nexuses involved, and the Punjab police, according to me, or the Delhi police, etc., either collectively or individually, are not competent to look at the entire ramifications. Hence, it's very essential that the key investigation agency of the country, that is the NIA, takes this case. Second thing, the External Affairs Ministry has to move in and interact with their counterparts in Canada to ensure that appropriate cases are filed against them. Goldie Brar has gone on record to say that he was involved in this. We must use that to our advantage and ensure that we are able to extradite him and extradite him fairly fast. Otherwise, these things will further multiply by an order of magnitude. It's very unfortunate that in a very cavalier attitude, in a super sensitive state, the Bhagwant Mann government reduced the security of very many people and thereafter made it public. It is almost a sin and a crime on their part, and they are in directly or indirectly responsible for what has happened. In fact, I was very astonished that even the Jathedar of the Akal Takht, his security also was reduced, and he went on to tell the government of the day, Punjab government, that he doesn't want the security at all. They can take it back. He said the Khalsa Panth is strong enough to protect me. This is a huge rebuke to the government of the day, and the government of the day has to act in a manner in which it strengthens national security as against weakening it. presently the law and situation or order situation in Punjab is in an absolute dismal manner. It's at
You
its
make
lowest.
very pertinent points, Mr. General Sehgal, all strong points. There are questions after questions that are being posed to the Ministry of Home Affairs, to the Ministry of External Affairs, and particularly the Punjab government and Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann. These individuals, these organizations, these ministries, these governments need to answer the public's questions. There are worrying trends that are only now surfacing. They have been buried for far too long. It's a good thing that they have surfaced, but there needs to be a solution that needs to be allowed to put an end to this menace.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.